behind bars after his sexual assault conviction.
Here now to break down his sentence is trial attorney Deanne Arthur. Deanne, good morning.
Good morning.
Well, a lot of people thought maybe he'll get jail time, maybe he won't. 3 to 10 years. Your thoughts on that?
3 to 10 years, I think, was appropriate in this sentence in the sense that he was convicted of 3 sexual assault charges that each separately carry a 3 to 10 year term. The judge had the option of doing between 3 and 10. A lot happens between the actual conviction and the sentencing. I think the judge took into account a lot of things like lack of remorse. I think that he laughing when the verdict was reached, having that outburst, I think played in a lot, and never apologizing. It's done. Now's the time to apologize.
He's in prison this morning.
He is.
How much time do you think he's actually going to spend behind bars? Because we have talked about so many cases where people are sentenced to a certain number of years. We just had one recently, we think, with a local case where they're let out sooner.
Overcrowding is a real issue. So once the hype goes down, once the sentencing is done, the jails do have the options to let him out on house arrest, other options. I don't think he's going to serve 3. In the grand scheme of things, dangerous criminals in there, an 81-year-old man with health problems, he'll get kicked early.
So he probably won't serve the full 3, but I think the message was sent loud and clear yesterday that even an 80-something-year-old Bill Cosby, blind and in frail health, you're going to jail if you do what he was convicted of doing.
Yes.
Is it the message that's important here?
Yes, the message was punishment.
Right.
Whether he serves that full term or not, the judge was sending a clear message of punishment, that this type of behavior will not be tolerated no matter how long ago.
His lawyers plan to appeal. Do they have any ground to stand on? Is it going to work?
Appeal is grave legal error. I heard a lot of comments about this wasn't fair, falsified evidence. That's not going to stand probably
The
on an appeal.
spokesperson said it was racism.
Yeah, I think that they were throwing out a lot of inflammatory, emotional comments that aren't grounds for appeal.
You know, this morning, when I started to hear the news and to really settle in, he is in prison right now. He's waking up. I don't know about you at home, if you thought about it, but I wonder what it's like for him. Waking up, you're an older man, you're a celebrity as well, and waking up in jail, what is his treatment like? Are they going to treat him differently because he's older, because he's a celebrity? Is Bill Cosby?
Waking up in prison is bad for anyone, let alone somebody that has had all the perks of celebrity status for all of these years. His health status is a concern that they have to attend to, but he's going to probably be attended to just like all the other inmates that have health concerns. I don't think that his health is going to get better in there.
And I'm pretty sure a lot of his victims and those connected to him will say, well, who cares?
Exactly.
He is where he belongs given what he was convicted of doing. Is this the end of the criminal cases against Bill Cosby? Will there be civil cases against him to try to get something more?
I think the criminal cases are done because of the statute of limitations. This victim was the only one that was able to slide in under the statute of limitations. I think the civil cases are also probably going to have problems because there's a proving of evidence issue. These incidents happened so long ago. This particular victim had a settlement. She already had a deposition. She had some admissions of his own words. Now these new cases, they would have to come up with the evidence brand new, which would be very tough.
Yeah. Is this the end of all the criminal charges? Are we done with everything now?
The appeal, I believe, is still going to go forward.
Okay.
At this point, with his celebrity status, with his monetary status, they're still going to appeal. They'll find a way to appeal. They don't want to tell him, hey, Bill, it's done,
Right.
Hands up. They're still going to try their hardest.
Deanne, I want you to kind of summarize for me the significance of this conviction and of the sentence in terms of the Me Too era. This is a major, major celebrity, the first one to actually get jail time for this. The significance of this is what exactly?
No one is safe. At no time are you safe. You will be able to, these, I think celebrities will have to think back of all the interactions that they have ever had. They'll have to think back of what is inappropriate and what's not. I think that there will be new classes, education, and all of that because they have to prevent the younger celebrities from being in this situation. But no time is safe. You have to think back on what you've ever done.
That's exactly, that leads to my next point, because we've heard a lot about the statute of limitations, and we've also heard about what's going on with Brett Kavanaugh. Now, how far back are we going here? Because with Brett Kavanaugh, you're talking about early 80s, with Bill Cosby, same era before. The statute of limitations versus what you did 30, 40 years ago, explain that from a legal standpoint.
So statute of limitations is actually for your criminal case. There's no statute of limitations on just reputation damage.
True.
Kavanaugh is going through an issue that she didn't have to prove it in court. This is going to tarnish his career, his
It's
reputation.
already affected.
Exactly. There's no statute of limitations there. And I think because of this Me Too moment, people are getting the forum, they are getting the courage to speak up on things that happened so long ago, but it doesn't mean proving a criminal case.
All right, Deanne Arthur, thank you for the expertise this morning. We appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
All right.
Time now is